And I think you can reach people on a visceral level, so in their guts, when they're seeing an emotion, so it's without spoken word.
My whole life I've struggled with depression and anxiety. So I was kind of anticipating it in some way that this, this might happen. This was obviously going to be a big change having my first child.
I think with language, you're telling the audience what to think. Whereas if they see something and they see the movement, it's sort of open rather than you're telling them specifically what to feel.
You give birth to this child and it's supposed to be like magic, and it's not. And I love my son, but I was afraid. I was afraid that it was going to be bad. I was afraid that we were going to go through all that. Being in that pit was not what I wanted for my child.
My job was just to keep this child alive and had no emotional connection at first. And that was devastating to me because I remember another mom saying like, oh, you will not understand love until you have your first child.
Childbirth is a powerful experience, and oftentimes people think that it is just a physical experience, but really childbearing affects the mind as well. And what we know is that for a host of complex reasons, the postpartum period is the most vulnerable time in a woman's life for her to experience a mood disorder or an anxiety disorder.
Well, first and foremost, I wondered if I was ever going to love my baby. That was really hard. And then that led into not being so social because I couldn't go and talk to moms about how amazing this experience was.
Our culture is one where self-sufficiency and independence is highly valued. So that seeps into the collective psyche, and women are not immune. So at their most vulnerable time, which is right after having a baby, women are reluctant to ask for help, and they think they should just pull themselves up. Others think they should just pull themselves up. And we know that if that's all it took, we wouldn't be treating as many women as we do.
This is a collaborative project that our dance company, Part of the Oath, has begun with Families First Moms for Moms program. And we are making a piece about postpartum depression, trying to explore issues and to bring out a lot of those issues in the art.
Through art, but for me, I'm a dancer, you can try to portray some of it, and it doesn't have to be so literal because it's not words, it's something else. And if you can live in that, you can become that sort of, and it can speak out of you.
I have a lot of family. I'm one of 5 kids. And my husband's family is also around. So I felt like those services or that community wasn't necessarily for me because like here it was that I had pretty much everyone around me all the time.
I'm thinking of how I would have felt seeing the piece when I was going through that, how that would have really helped me.
I started going to the meetings and I got hooked up with another mom who's a volunteer, and I got really lucky. I ended up meeting my best friend.
It's not easy to pull yourself up. In fact, it's impossible. That's why treatment is so important. That's why education is so important.